Good morning all my dear class 6 students. Welcome to your online chemistry class. So, you have separation techniques, this chapter 3, page number 37 in your second unit test. So, today we will be discussing about separation techniques. Okay, so at first we have to see what is separation technique. Okay, there are many instances when we notice a substance is being separated from a mixture of materials. Tea leaves are separated from the liquid with a strainer while preparing tea. We used to see when we are preparing tea leaves are separated from that whole liquid, right? So, grain is separated from stalks while harvesting. Milk or curd is churned to separate the butter. Separation of components of mixture. Okay. So now we have to see separation of components from mixtures. The process by which unwanted or harmful components of a mixture are removed to get a desirable or pure component is called separation of components from a mixture. So what is called the separation of components from a mixture? The process by which unwanted or harmful components of a mixture are removed to get a desirable or pure component is called the separation of components from a mixture. Okay. Now, the separation of mixture depends upon the type of mixture, its nature and the characteristic properties of the components present in the mixture. Each component of a mixture has its own characteristic properties that we know already. Thus, different methods are used to separate the components of different types of mixtures. Now, methods of separation of solid in solid mixtures. So, now we will see, this is a very interesting point, how the solids are separated from another solid mixture. Okay, now see, there are various methods of separating the components of solid in solid mixtures. These methods of separation are based on just one principle: different materials have different properties. Okay, that we have to keep in our mind. This is the main point. Different materials have different properties, and by this formula, by this principle, we basically separate solid in solid mixtures. Okay, so now let us study some methods commonly used for separating the components of a mixture. Now winnowing, it is defined as a process to separate light solid substance from heavier ones by using wind. The mixture of wheat and husk is taken in a convenient vessel, is allowed to fall down from a height. The wind carries the lighter husk with it. The wheat grains, being heavier, fall vertically down to the ground and form a heap. The husk particles form a heap at a short distance away from the heap of the wheat grains. Okay, so this is the technique winnowing, and the example is mixture of wheat and husk. Okay. We have to see that wheat carries the lighter weight solid. That means husk is the lighter weight. So wind is carrying the lighter weight husk, and that wheat are heavier. Okay. So wheat grains being heavier fall vertically down to the ground and form a heap. So this is the main point. Now we will come to the point sieving. It is defined as a process of separate undesirable components in a solid mixtures by using a sieve. A sieve has very small holes which allow only very fine flour particles to pass through them. The coarse particles are retained in the sieve and are thus separated, depending upon the types of particles to be separated. Sieves of different sizes of holes are used, for example, wheat grains, broken wheat grains, bread from flour. So this is the sieving process. So students, next day we will be discussing about hand picking magnetic separation, sublimation. So today till this one, that means sieving, we have learned. Okay, thank you so much for attending the class. Bye bye, stay healthy, stay good.